For 3 weeks, the town of Silver Creek lived in a state of quiet terror. It was because of the wolf. A lone gray wolf, larger than any they had ever seen, had been sighted at the edge of the forest that bordered their community. It didn't attack. It didn't howl. It just appeared. A silent, menacing shadow that would stand at the tree line, watch the town with unsettling golden eyes, and then melt back into the woods. Fear, like a creeping fog, settled over the residents. They kept their children inside and locked their doors early. They called it the ghost. The local ranger, a man named Alex, was under immense pressure. The mayor wanted the wolf hunted and eliminated. "It's a threat," he insisted. "It's only a matter of time before it gets bold and someone gets hurt." Alex was a man of the wilderness, and something about the wolf's behavior felt wrong to him. It wasn't the behavior of a predator stalking prey. It was something else, something he couldn't put his finger on. It felt intentional. Against his better judgment, Alex decided not to set traps. Instead, one cold, clear morning, he set out to follow it. He found the wolf's tracks easily in the frost-covered ground. He followed them for hours, deeper into the rugged, unforgiving backcountry than he usually patrolled. The tracks led him up a steep, treacherous ridge. The air grew thinner, colder. He felt a sense of unease. Why would a wolf lead him here, to this desolate, dangerous place? As he rounded a sharp, rocky outcrop, he saw the wolf. It was standing about 100 yards ahead, on the edge of a vast open snowfield. It turned its head and looked directly at him. There was no menace in its gaze, only an urgent, desperate plea. Then, it let out a single low whine and pawed at the snow beneath its feet, before turning and disappearing over the ridge. Alex stood for a moment, his heart pounding. This was no longer a patrol. It felt like an invitation, a summons. He cautiously made his way to the spot where the wolf had been. The snow looked undisturbed, a pristine white blanket covering the landscape, but the wolf had been insistent. Alex looked closer, his experienced eyes scanning for any sign of a disturbance. He saw nothing. He was about to turn back, thinking he had been a fool to follow a wild animal, when a glint of color caught his eye. Half buried in the snow, almost completely obscured, was the bright blue tip of a ski. Alex's blood ran cold. This wasn't just a snowfield. He looked up at the towering peak above him and saw the telltale fracture lines of a recent avalanche. This entire area was a debris field. The wolf hadn't been leading him on a wild goose chase. It had been leading him to a grave. Frantically, he began to dig with his hands. The snow was packed and heavy. He radioed for backup, his voice strained with urgency, giving his coordinates and screaming the word avalanche. He dug until his fingers were numb and raw. Minutes stretched into an eternity. Just as the first sounds of a rescue helicopter echoed in the distance, his fingers brushed against something solid. It was the fabric of a jacket. He dug with renewed, desperate energy and uncovered the face of a man, his skin a deathly blue, his eyes closed. He was a skier, reported missing 3 days ago, presumed lost to the storm. Alex cleared the snow from his mouth and nose, checked for a pulse. It was there. Faint, thready, but it was there. He was alive. The rescue team arrived and airlifted the man to safety, where doctors called his survival a 1-in-a-million miracle. When the chaos subsided, Alex stood alone on the silent snowfield, the empty hole a testament to the day's events. He looked back towards the ridge where the wolf had disappeared. He knew he would never see it again. The wolf wasn't terrorizing the town. It had been trying to get help. It had sensed the buried, living man, and with an intelligence that defied human understanding, it had done the only thing it could. It made itself seen, over and over, until someone was wise enough to follow. The menacing ghost was, in fact, a guardian angel in a wolf's coat. Sometimes, a cry for help doesn't come in a language we understand.